Hey, it's Juliet here. I'm going to show you how I created this layered image using Creative Fabrica and my Cricut machine. Log on to creativefabrica.com. I searched Black Girl SVG and this is the one I found. If you want to use this one in particular, I will link it in the description. But if there's so many. So this is a SVG, PNG. It's got different types of images. This is the website I use, Creative Fabrica. If you sign up as well using my link, you get 10 free downloads to use. Once you have downloaded your image from Creative Fabrica, save it onto your computer. You open up Cricut Design Space, a new canvas, and what you're going to do is upload your image onto this canvas. So click this button here, upload, and then up to here, upload image. You're then going to go into your files, browse, and find that image that you saved onto your computer. Here it is, and this is the one that you're going to pick. So these two are flat images. You're going to pick the last one, the blue and green swirl. The blue and green swirl is the SVG that will have all your different layers. So you can see Cricut has opened it here and it says cut image. It needs to say cut image for you to be able to alter this design and be able to layer it like an SVG. Type in the name and then click this button right here at the bottom. This will bring it onto your page where you can upload it onto your canvas. Pick the image that you want and then upload to canvas. I absolutely love this image. It just looks so trendy, so cool. And the great thing about Creative Fabrica is that you can use these images, put them onto a t-shirt, make stickers and sell them. I'm actually going to put it on this lunchbox. It's a gift for one of my daughter's friends. So firstly, measure the size that you need using your ruler. I'm going to measure it. It was about 15 by 9 centimeters. And then I'm going to replicate that size with my image. As you know, Cricut Design Space will show you your measurements, or you can type it into the measurement box to get the measurement that you need. Once you're happy with the size, I'm going to add some text to mine because I want to make it personalized. Personalized just makes things so much better. So add the text and write the name or the message or whatever you want to add to your personalized gift. Here I'm going to write the name Scarlett and definitely change the font. This default font that always comes up, it's all right, but there are so many other great fonts. So going on to fonts, there's one that I really like. So you can either browse through the fonts, you can use the filters, or if you know the name of the font, you can just type it in. I'm going to be using BFC Love Notes, which is a lovely kind of kiddie font. Yeah, this one here, it's got the little hearts inside as well. So you're going to see how this one looks. This is what it looks like. Beautiful. So the next step I'm going to do is change my colors. You don't have to do this, but it makes it so much easier when you are putting on your vinyl. So you remember what vinyl colors to put on. I want to change the blue to purple. So I select all the blues. If I want to select more than one at a time, I press down CTRL and then click on the layers panel as I'm doing here, the ones I want to change. Once I'm happy with all the ones I want to change, I go to color up here and select the color I want. I'm going to go with purple vinyl just so I remember what color vinyl to put down because there are so many different colors. Forgot the earrings, I'll do that one separately and change that to purple as well. For the text, I'm going to use black vinyl. So it's always great to change your color so you can cut them on the same mat of that color. So as before, go to color and select black. And you can see now my text has changed to black. One thing I love about text is you can add an offset. So the offset feature, which I clicked at the top here, and then you can size your offset by using this slider tool. Or if you know the size of the offset you want to do, you can just type it into the size here. I'm going to go with about 0.2 offset and just hit apply, and there you get your offset. It usually will come out in a different color first. I want my offset to be purple, so I just click on this button here and purple. But as you can see with my offset, there's a few gaps in between and I don't really want this look. I want it to be quite seamless. So you click on your offset on the layers panel and you go to contour. When you hit on contour, you just set hide all contours and that will get rid of all of your gaps, and click the close button to close, and now you can see no more gaps. Before you make it, save your project. I've had so many times when I've gone to make my project, my Cricut has frozen and I've lost everything that I was doing. So save your project before you hit make it. Top tip from me. So I'm just saving it as girl one because it was the file name, just in case I want to use it again to make this type of project. So before I go into make it as well, I just make sure the sizing is correct. Because I added an offset, I do want to make the text a bit smaller. I highlight all of the offset in the text and then just make it to the size that I want. If you like short form videos as well, make sure you're following me on TikTok and Instagram. I'm called Cricut Craft Juliet, cricut.craft.juliet. And I give you so many tips on there. So now we're ready, go to make it. And what we're going to see on the make it screen are all of our colors mattes. So I've got my white matte, my blue matte, my purple matte, and my black matte. This is the reason why I said do colors. Well, it's not my matte, it's the color of the vinyl. So you can see all of them I've got here. One thing you need to do, I don't know why it does it with these SVGs. On the black matte, the base matte, this middle image, we do not need it. You don't, all the white lines are cut lines. We do not need this image because we're layering. So click on it. Click on the three dots and then we are going to delete it because it's not needed and it's just going to waste so much time cutting on your machine. So click and then hide selected image and then move over anything that you need to move over to make sure you don't waste too much vinyl. And then you select continue and then you'll be taken to the next screen where you need to set your cut. What cut settings you're going to go through. For this one, I usually use premium outdoor vinyl. But for the white, you can use iron-on plus, which, because it's very small. I did use this one first and it was a bit tricky to cut. I think iron-on plus or iron-on will be better, even though this is not heat transfer vinyl. And then you'll just send it to your Cricut machine to cut with that recommended setting. If you are using Explorer Air, remember to turn your dial so you can get these cut settings. Just put your vinyl on to your mat. I'm using a green mat here. One top tip, this brayer tool, especially when you're doing intricate design, small fonts, always use the brayer tool. I noticed when I started using this tool, it made my cuts so much better. And here I was saying, put it on custom if you have Explorer Air, Explorer Air 2 or 3. If you have a Maker, it's fine. You can just browse all materials and let your Cricut machine cut. Okay, I actually have an ebook, which I will put also in the description, which tells you all of the Cricut cut settings. I've actually sat down and gone through all of my Cricut cut settings to make sure you get the perfect cut every time. So you can see this is quite an intricate design. There's lots of folds and bits to be cut out, but it weeded perfectly. This vinyl here I'm using is Arteza brand. The coloured one is Arteza brand. And you just weed off your vinyl. Once you've cut everything, just weed it off, take it off. And there are tiny pieces like the eyes, the lips, and the nose. And what I'd recommend is you use a needle pen for that. So here's my holographic vinyl, which is from Tech Wrap. Always take off the film. Most holographic vinyl has this film layer on top of it. This vinyl is amazing. Like, if you lot could see the colors for real life, it is beautiful. Chef's kiss. Brayer tool as always to get that perfect cut. I will leave the one I've got as well in the description box if you want to get that one. I used a cut setter metallic textured for the holographic vinyl, which ensured the perfect cut. So here are all my cut pieces now. I prefer to cut everything. I had to do reverse weeding for the eyes because they were so tiny and it would be very difficult for me to weed. So reverse weeding is perfect for small, intricate designs. So for the shoes, where the laces were, it was very, very tiny. So I used my needle. It's a pen needle. So this is my pen needle kind of tool that I used to take out the tiny holes for like where the laces were, which made it so much easier because the needle is very, very fine. So you need something like this to weed this design. So we always start off with our base layer, which is the black at the bottom, and I'm going to put the brown one on top. So get your transfer tape and measure it to your correct size and just place your transfer tape on top of your image. So there are different hacks that you can use, like using greaseproof paper to be able to layer your design. But I don't really use that. You can use it if you want. So use your scraper tool to burnish the vinyl onto the transfer tape and make sure you've got a very good adhesion. And then you'll slowly lift up your transfer tape. Always check to make sure all of the vinyl has lifted up and nothing is left behind. So I'm using the Tech Wrap transfer tape, which I absolutely love. It never misses. It always picks up, and you can use this like over and over, the same piece about 10 times. I just layer it up. So I take one part of my design and I look exactly where it goes. So I'm going very close to my vinyl, but I'm not actually touching it until I'm happy with where it is. And then I just put it down. If you're a bit nervous to do this, as I mentioned, you can use the greaseproof paper method, which allows you to line it up before and then just smooth it on. Use your scraper tool, use your fingers to make sure it is really stuck on. But with this Tech Wrap transfer tape, it works amazingly. It sticks on first time. I've never had any issues with it not sticking on at all. So you can see here, I did not use my scraper tool. These nails, guys, I tell you, I think nails are not for crafters, but you know, I do love them, but I find it very hard to use my Cricut. But yes, I do love them. So as you can see, I didn't use my scraper tool and it comes off perfectly. Always take your time, peel down slowly at an angle, at like a 45-degree angle, and peel it off. So there's our first layer. How satisfying was that? You can see it coming along already. And one thing I like to do, like the eyebrows, the nose, I weed it out afterwards. So because it's so tiny, I don't want to mess up my project before. So once I've put this on, I weed out with my pen tool, take out the eyebrows, take out the nostrils, take out the ears, all these tiny little pieces that I did not weed before. You can weed it afterwards, and using this pen weeding tool, and it makes it so much easier because it's very fine point. And then you just carry on doing what you was doing. You get each layer and you layer it on top. So, you know, I did not realize my camera was not recording, so I missed to show you how I put the top on, but it's pretty much the same as how you do every layer. You just get your transfer tape. This is the same transfer tape. I just cut it a bit smaller, and then you put it on top of where you want it to go. So I always like to give myself a little leeway on my transfer tape so I can maneuver it around wherever it needs to go. Just pull it down, scrape it down, because remember, this is holographic. It's kind of like a metallic feel. So you do need really good transfer tape, and Tech Wrap transfer tape, it holds metallic, transfers it perfectly. I've used so many transfer tapes, but this one, it's really good. So I'm doing all the purple. I like to do all the same colors at the same time. I've got the bow here, and I'm using that same piece of transfer tape again. As long as you're not putting the sticky side on like any type of material like wool or cotton for fibers to stick on there, it's perfectly fine. Just scrape it on as always, and then peel it off so slowly just to make sure it's lifted, because sometimes it doesn't always lift. But with Tech Wrap, I have not seen that happen yet. And just put down the bow where you can put it where it was on the picture, or you can put it in your own placement. And you can see this SVG is coming together ever so nicely. If you're liking this so far, guys, show me, give me a like, write something in the comments if this is the type of content that you like. So here we're almost done. The lips are very tricky to do. So with the lips, what you need to do is when you get your transfer tape, make sure you leave something for you to hold. Don't make your transfer tape so small that you cannot even hold it. So I make sure I give myself a flap. So something that I can hold when I put it down. And I just place it down ever so gently like this. And can you see that part I'm holding? I'm still holding that part. I forgot to scrape it, but yeah. So pull it down and scrape it on. Use your fingers to press it and it will lift. This is the same transfer tape, guys. I've been using the same transfer tape for the whole project. I haven't cut off a new piece. That's how durable it lasts for ages. I don't even know how many times it would actually last. So you can see here, I've made myself a little flap. This is crucial for putting on small designs. And I just try my best to line it up and then peel it off ever so slowly. Make sure that it has adhered. Use scraper tool to burnish the vinyl on perfectly. I'm really loving how this project is coming out. When you make these types of projects, it's actually very satisfying seeing your design come to life. And then I'm going to put on the eyes. Just like before, I'm going to make myself a little flap to hold. That's the only way you can really put down something so small. I've got these nails which are making it like 10 times as hard. So don't follow me and get these type of long nails. But yeah, it can still work. So you put down the eyes using the flap exactly where you want it, taking your time as always, scrape it on and then lift it up. So with the eyes, I did mention I use reverse weeding. So now all the layers are done. I've done my offset and my text on camera. This is the lunchbox. It's like a bento kids lunchbox, which is so cool. The gift to this girl, she's like on pack lunch, so she would absolutely love this. First thing, if you're using hard surfaces, always wipe down with alcohol. So I'm just using some alcohol wipes to wipe this down. I put it onto a lint-free kind of cotton swab. This is like what nail techs use. The lint-free ones, there's no lint or any pieces stuck to it. Give it a good wipe, and then after about a minute, all the alcohol would have evaporated and you know your box is nice and clean, ready for your vinyl. So 2 ways you can put on your vinyl. You can either use transfer tape, put a whole piece of transfer tape on your image and then use it to transfer it. But sometimes you can get bubbles if you're not careful. So this is what I like to do. I just peel off like the top part. Then I stick down only the top part. You can see I've just got the top part on. And I just stick down the top part and then make sure that is really flat. I work my way down, pressing down ever so slowly. This only works if you have one complete image, like everything is together. And I realize when I do it like this, there are absolutely no bubbles at all. You can see that tech wrap, purple, metallic. If you lot could see this for real, it's amazing. Little one wanted to help as well, so I let her join in. She loves to craft with me and put down the offset. So I'm going to put this on the side of the box. You can see it's come off wonderfully as well. So once you've got it peeled off, stick it exactly where you need it to go. Line it up the best that you can. You know what, sometimes I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, it's not straight, I need to start again. But now I'm just like, you know, no one's really going to notice. Like, it looks fine. I think this one's straight. And little one wanted to help burnish it on and peel it off ever so slowly. If this is something you're going to recreate or use some of these tips, please tag me when you do post these on your Instagram, cricut.craft.juliet. I would love to see your creations and share them onto my story as well. Some of you may like to go more in depth with this type of crafting, a different craft you want to try. I do offer one-on-one Cricut coaching courses, which can help to accelerate your business, your Cricut business, or if you just want to learn the craft in a lot more detail, check that out. I'll put it all in the description box. But I hope you enjoyed this video. This is something you may replicate. If you do, tag me in your creations. Like, follow and subscribe. And don't forget to join me on my socials, cricut.craft.juliet, TikTok and Instagram. Bye.